Good afternoon, everyone who has joined us for this webinar. Thanks for making time to attend this webinar today with us. We know you have taken time off your busy schedules so that you can listen to what we have for you this afternoon. My name is Phil Muchitela. I will be the facilitator for this webinar today. And I'm not alone in this facilitation task that have been given. I will be co-facilitating with my colleague, who is Kwanele Mpanza. So for me, I'm the specialist responsible for training on quality and standards at SEDA, which is the Small Enterprise Development Agency at the National Office in Pretoria. So I'll be taking you through the program, and my co-facilitator will be able to take you through the question and answer sessions. And I'll also urge you to make use of our chat box if you've got any thing that you want to say, comment, question, or even in the question and answer box. But other than that, after we are done with all the presenters, we'll be able to give you an opportunity to engage us, to ask us. So we'll give you an opportunity to unmute yourself and ask us any question that you need clarity on. So this webinar for today is being organized by the Small Enterprise Development Agency, which is SEDA, and SEDA is the agency of the Department of Small Business Development. And we are doing this in partnership with the South African Furniture Initiative, which is SAFI. So sit back and relax. And this webinar, it is a one in a series of webinars which have already been conducted in partnership with a partnership between SEDA and SAFI. And I hope and wish that this will not be the last webinar that has been organized, because we see this as a continuous partnership that is going to benefit you, the SMMEs or business owners. So that is my wish that we continue with this partnership. So today's webinar will focus on the skills development programs which are offered through SEDA and as well as SAFI. So that at the end of the day, we make this information available to you, so that you know exactly what programs are available to you as an SMME, so that they can help you to grow in these uncertain times, you know. So you should be able to know where you can get help or assistance in terms of those skills. So that is the purpose of today's webinar. And without taking any more of your time, I would like to introduce the first speaker. So, following research commissioned by the provincial government into the sector's economic potential, Bernadette Isaacs accepted the position of program manager and established the Western Cape Furniture Initiative, which is the WCFI, in 2009. She has played a major role in the transition of a regional to national industry body, the South African Furniture Initiative, SAFI, as we know it now, as a managing director, and has driven the vision, the strategy, and implementation of programs that develop the furniture sector and the organization. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give an opportunity to Bernadette Isaacs to take us through her presentation. Bernadette, it's over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Phil, and welcome to all our attendees and our panelists today. So just in terms of background of who the South African Furniture Initiative is, we are a non-profit organization. We were established in 2016 as a joint initiative of industry, labor, and government for the benefit of all stakeholders in the furniture value chain. The South African Furniture Initiative is funded by the Furniture Bargaining Councils. On your right-hand side of the screen, I've put up the logos of the Furniture Bargaining Councils. We have 5 in the country. Just a bit of background about the Furniture Bargaining Councils. The Minister of Labour has empowered the Furniture Bargaining Councils through designated agents to promote, monitor, and enforce compliance with any collective agreement concluded in that bargaining council. In terms of the registered scope of the bargaining council, any employer with or without employees who are associated with furniture, either in whole or part, all types of furniture, including bedding, as well as upholstery or reupholstery, must be registered with the bargaining council. The bargaining council is made up of employers' associations and trade unions who represent their members in a collective bargaining at industry level. These negotiations take place at the Furniture Bargaining Council and include negotiations of wages, conditions of service for the majority of the employers and employees in our industry. So all the members of the Furniture Bargaining Council are automatically members of SAFI. In terms of SAFI's mandate, we have a 7-fold mandate, and that is to provide market intelligence information, to facilitate training, mentoring, and other support services, to promote the South African furniture manufacturing industry and associated furniture design, to facilitate access to domestic and international markets, especially for small and previously disadvantaged individuals or owned enterprises. Determine and facilitate the implementation of initiatives and programs to enhance the performance of the South African furniture industry, to sustain existing employment and create new employment opportunities within the furniture value chain, and to facilitate the development of strategic relationships throughout the furniture value chain. So this 7-fold mandate, I will now take you through in terms of how, through our initiatives and our programs, we look at achieving all of this. Our programs are aligned to support, sustain, and grow the furniture industry through 3 pillars, and that is market access, improving competitiveness, and transformation. So under our market access program, we're currently working on these initiatives, which is the Furniture Industry Directory, PR and communication and events for and promoting the furniture industry, as well as the South African furniture brand, and our annual furniture sector forum that happens every year. Under our pillar for improving competitiveness, we are working with various stakeholders in both on the private and the public side in terms of looking at a furniture, and we have established a furniture SARS forum to look at programs like imports and duties and rebates for the furniture industry where necessary, as well as a furniture industry skills and qualification development program. Our final program through our transformation program is the start of the Furniture Industry Master Plan. It is in the final stages at the moment to be signed off by Minister Ibrahim Patel, as well as other support programs that we offer the furniture industry, also in collaboration with the stakeholders in the value chain. So in terms of the Furniture Industry Master Plan, the purpose and objectives, the master plan was co-funded by government and the industry, the private sector. And the objective of the master plan was to develop a agreed vision for all the stakeholders in the value chain, with an implementation plan and recommendations that would be executable within a framework of 5 years. It also has an implementation and monitoring and evaluation plan. So the approach for the master plan was to develop a short-term strategy on how to best protect and retain the current industry and businesses, and also to have or develop a growth plan to improve productivity and competitiveness in the industry, hopefully creating or sustaining first and then creating employment, and also looking at locally produced products and the promotion of that, as well as the growth plan that must take place for the potential of SMMEs and to maximize our triple BE opportunities. So the furniture industry master plan began in August of 2019. And in January and February of 2020, we, together with the DTIC, embarked on roadshows in the country where we presented the idea of a furniture master plan to the stakeholders. And this was the outcome of those interactions with the stakeholders in the value chain. It was then identified that market access, transformation, and improving competitiveness was part and also the 3 key pillars for the industry. And the stakeholders further went into identifying the programs that they felt needed to be addressed in the furniture industry. Under the market access program, there are 4 programs that has been identified with 4 required outcomes. The first program under market access was improving protection against imports. And as I already indicated in our current projects, we've already engaged with SARS in terms of looking at, and we've established a furniture forum within SARS to address imports, be it illegal or any other issues that we feel would benefit the industry. We've also, under improving protection against imports, done work with the South African Bureau of Standards, the SABS, in terms of looking at revising our furniture standards within the furniture industry. The next program of increasing local purchase of locally made furniture, we've partnered with organizations like Proudly South African, the DTIC, SEDA, and various other organizations in terms of engaging with the public and the private sector in ensuring that goods procured by government and the private sector are purchased locally. The third program is increasing exports to SAFI and Seda. And in terms of that, we're looking at establishing an export council for the furniture industry, as well as the foreign direct investment value proposition, which is the 4th program, and that is an outcome of increasing inward investment by international firms. Under our transformation pillar, we're looking at finalizing a transformation plan for the furniture industry, and also to develop and implement SMME entry and sustainability support programs for one-man, small, medium, micro businesses, and in terms of how they can join the industry. The last pillar, which is improving competitiveness, we're looking at 3 programs, cost and productivity improvement in order to improve access to funding for businesses in the furniture industry, as well as practical and experiential skills development, and that's upgrading the skills for the current needs as well as the future needs of the furniture industry. And then also putting something in place where we can measure and manage the progress of the initiatives that we've implemented in the furniture industry. And we'll do that by collecting data and using various stats through annual and regular productivity audits.
So in terms of today's program, we'll be looking at the improving competitiveness pillar, which will cover the program practical and experiential skills development and the outcome of that program will be to upgrade skills for the current and future needs of the furniture industry and ensure significant improvement in experiential skills development. During the furniture implementation plan research process, the stakeholders in the industry identified crucial occupations that was needed in the furniture industry for skills development. The crucial occupations identified was the furniture designer, furniture upholsterer, hand skills, furniture seamstress, and furniture maker, looking at up-to-date theoretical, practical, and technological experience that is needed in the furniture industry going forward. In terms of the technical skills gaps identified during the research process, the technical skills identified by the stakeholders was computer-aided design, CAD, fitting and installation, furniture maker practical skills, computer-aided manufacturing, machine repairing, and technical drawings, as well as artisan and mentorship development. The business skills gap identified in the furniture industry was business management, marketing, business mentoring and coaching, negotiation skills, production coaching, as well as business skills gap.
So as I mentioned in my previous slides, we partner with various stakeholders in the value chain. And we, as the South African Furniture Initiative, have partnered with, or we've signed a memorandum of agreement with the Fiber Processing and Manufacturing SETA. And just a bit of background about the FPNM SETA is that it was established, by the Honourable Minister of Higher Education and Training on the 1st of April 2011, after government took a decision to cluster sectors in order to strengthen the value chain linkages between related industries. So the FPNM SETA consists of 13 subsectors, which include furniture. So anything related to training and development in the furniture industry, you can contact. There are regional branches in the country. So you can go onto their website, which is at the bottom, and you can contact any of their coordinators or specialists in your region, and they can give you advice, and you can have any of your related queries relating to what I've put on the slide, whether it's skills planning or research you require, or whether you want to apply for mandatory or discretionary grants, accreditation or quality assurance, project implementation, any monitoring and evaluation, supply chain management, as well as marketing and communications. So I've given you a bit of a brief introduction and background of the FPNM SETA, the Fiber Processing Manufacturing SETA, because they have funded all our skills and development programs for the furniture industry, which I'll take you through now. So one of the programs that the FPNM SETA has funded is the qualification development of the furniture upholsterer. So we currently have a qualification for furniture upholsterer, but the qualification was outdated. And we embarked on this process with the FPNM SETA, as well as the Quality Council for Trades and Occupations, which is the QCTO, to actually revise and update that qualification. The qualification is currently in the pilot phase, and more information about the development of this qualification will be available on our website. We've embarked on the same process with the funded program from the SETA in terms of the first ever furniture design qualification, not only in South Africa, but on this continent. So there was no furniture qualification prior to it being developed now. And this qualification is currently being finalized by QCTO, and they call it the External Integrated Assessment phase that they're busy with. This qualification is registered with SACWA at NQF level 7, and it has 555 credits. We have already engaged with universities across the country who were actually part and parcel of actually putting together the curriculum, which was the first phase of the furniture design qualification development. Phase 2 and phase 3, which must still happen, would be the material development and assessment development of the furniture design qualification, which will still take place and will also be updated on our website. The last qualification that we're looking at developing is the furniture maker qualification. Also a registered qualification. There was a qualification, but once again a qualification that needed to be relevant to the current and the future industry, or the future of the furniture industry. So the furniture maker qualification will cover aspects of, as listed on the screen here, everything that is not upholstery related. So it will cover everything that has to do with assembly or cutting in this qualification. The status of this qualification is that we are awaiting feedback with regards to whether the qualification has been registered with SAFI. Once SAFI has registered the qualification, we will proceed like we did with the upholstery and the furniture design qualification and actually start with phase 2 and 3, which is the assessment and material development. So that was the one program and 3 qualifications that the SEDA funded us for. The other funding that the SEDA gave the industry was with regards to funding for learnerships. I've just put on the slide what a learnership is about, just for our attendees. So a learnership is a formal learning program, that links theoretical learning with structured workplace experience. So, and there's criteria in terms of a learnership as set out by the Skills Development Act in terms of what a learnership must consist of. So as I said, the SETA funded a learnership program. So we had 2 learnerships as follow. One that was implemented by Skills to Furnish, and that was Skills to Furnish is based in Gauteng. They're one of the accredited training providers for the furniture industry, and they did a learnership in cabinet making level 2, as well as a learnership in upholstery level 2. So the learners that participated in this program were employed learners from the furniture industry. We also received funding from the FPNM SETA to run a skills program. So the difference between a learnership and a skills program is that a skills program is an occupation-based learning program aimed at building skills that have economic value and which incorporates at least 1 unit standard and is registered by SETA and delivered by an accredited training provider, like I said, like Skills to Furnish, and it leads to a qualification registered on the NQF. So you can do a number of skills programs that can actually build up to your learnership qualification. Skills programs are usually short-term learning programs. So some of them might be a few hours, some of them might be a few weeks, and some of them might be a few months. Whereas a learnership program is usually a 12 to 18-month learnership program. The skills programs that we are currently doing is also offered by Skills to Furnish, and that's upholstery level 2, as well as Umfuluzi Tibbet College in KZN, and they're also running the upholstery level 2 program. The other program that we also ran with the furniture industry is a recognition of prior learning program. So I've just put up the for the attendees to see also what does recognition of prior learning mean. And it's a process whereby people's prior learning, so you have people that have worked in the furniture industry for 10, 15 years, but have never received any formal training or they don't have any formal qualifications in terms of learning. So what the Skills Development Act allows for is that people who have experience or a number of years of experience working in a certain field can actually embark on a recognition of prior learning program where they would get assessed and credits for the learning that they received, as we can say, on the job. The RPL acknowledges people that never stop learning, whether it takes formally at an educational institution or whether it happens informally. What is an ARPL? That's an Artisan Recognition of Prior Learning Program, and that would apply at an accredited trade test center. So you would have to go, previously in the furniture industry, all the employees used to go to Olifantsfontein and they had to go and do their trade test at an accredited trade test center to undergo the Artisan Recognition of Prior Learning Program. So the RPL program that we received funding from for the SETA was then rolled out by the 5 TVET and private colleges, namely Ferntech, who did the RPL for us in wood machining and cabinet making, as well as Upholstery, College of Cape Town, which did the RPL in Upholstery Level 2, and the Furniture Maker wood qualification, as well as Skills to Furnish, who did the Cabinet Making Upholstery Level 3 program. Sorry, Level 2 program. The funding we've also received from the SETA last year. We haven't embarked on this program yet. Following the slides I put up into the how we got to the scarce skills or the critical skills or the needed skills in the furniture industry, we are looking to, in February of 2021, have a further engagement with the value chain or the stakeholders to unpack what the fourth industrial revolution, what artificial intelligence, what we require, what skills we require in the innovation space for the furniture industry in that workshop. And closer to the time, we will be sending out communication to the furniture industry value chain regarding when and where that workshop will take place. And thank you. That's from me. Thank you very much, Phil.
Thank you, Bernadette. That was nice and sweet, straight to the point. The presentation was so informative. I think it will benefit a lot of our participants in their own spaces. Here on to say you can post your questions in the chat boxes. Other than that, you will have an opportunity to ask any question that you might have during the Q&A session after the last speaker. All right, thanks, Bernadette. For now, I would like to invite Kate Masopa to take us through what SEDA has for you. Kate, you can pick up the mic and make your presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kate Masupa. I'm the Information Officer for the Small Enterprise Development Agency, and I'm based in Pretoria, Tshwane Central. And I'll be taking you through, mine is sort of like a briefing session for startups, but there's also information that I'll be sharing with you in terms of the interest of furniture making. Because ours, it's more on the business skills. And thank you for the presentation from SAFI. It was extremely informative. I also took some notes down and to use in the future. Also to agree that FPNM SETA happens to be one of the best SETAs around that supports quite a number of processing and other interests. Maybe just to take you through who we are as an agency. The Small Enterprise Development Agency, we are an agency of the Department of Small Business Development, which was established in 2004 through the Small Business Act. Our mandate is to implement the small business strategy, design and implement a standard and common national delivery network for small enterprises through the integrated government-funded small enterprise support agencies across all tiers of government. We have a vision. Our vision is to be center of excellence for small enterprise development in South Africa, with a mission to promote entrepreneurship and develop small enterprises by providing customized, may I also reiterate, non-financial business support services that will in turn result in business growth and sustainability. So as SEDA, we don't work alone. Hence, we've got organizations like SAFI and other organizations, because we believe in collaboration with other role players. We are governed by values. Our values are to be customer-centric. We also conduct nurturing, innovation, and we also have a responsible conduct. How do we work at SEDA? This then becomes what we call a delivery network. Through the research and development that has been done over the years, we had to come up with this delivery model rather, that is comprised of both the partners as well as SEDA in order to create the partner SEDA network. My responsibility as an information officer really is to assist those that are on the first three level, the mid, talk, and the start. Upon when a client graduates, will then go to the build and grow, which is the operational phase. So mine is more on the research and idea generation phase, planning and formalization phase. However, throughout the levels of the delivery model, we have got programs that are linked to capacitate SMMEs, as Safi was talking about the technical skills. We then come through with what we call business skills, because it's extremely important for an SMME to have both the technical skills and the business skills. I mean, if you talk about furniture, you're talking about input costs that would, include raw material. One needs to know, let's say you are going to erect a table, what size, what type of material, the cut, make, and trim of that, and the designing, all the actual value chain up until you get to the final product. So this is where we come through by assisting small businesses on firstly, if they've got a new idea, let's say of maybe designing or of manufacturing furniture, how do they then go out there and conduct a research, and so that they can be able, to find out if furniture making as an interest, if one wants to venture into that, is it still feasible? Will it still work? I mean, if you look at the economy now, it's not on our favor. And so this is where I would come through, as well as testing if their ideas are viable, which is return on investment. So this is the delivery model. We look at any client that comes through, be it through a partnership like SAFI or walking through, we are able to assess a client by taking them through those levels. And this would be the target market at SEDA, from those that come through being just potential entrepreneurs to those that would say they are medium enterprises, whether be it micro enterprises that would maybe come through and say, I employ, less than 5 employees and I've got very limited technical and business skills. You're welcome to actually visit a SEDA. We're able to assist you. And I'm actually excited that SAFI, is there, because we also have an incubation ourselves called the FinTech that also provides technical skills. And we therefore, will be able to look into how can we refer a client if they come through with very limited technical as well as business skills, wherein we are able to advise them to get the technical skills and we give them what we call the business skills. May I also emphasize the fact that as an organization, we are not a training institution. However, we've got a division. This is where Noganda and the team comes from, called the Learning Academy, that designs the programs, especially for business skills, that we then have to roll out at our branches. So if we continue, the target market also involves those that would come through having, less than 20 employees. Maybe they might have limited technical as well as business skills, and that makes them very small enterprises. And those that would come through being small enterprises, maybe even employing less than 50, but you might find they might have developed technical skills, but lack limited skills, business skills rather. And those that would come through saying they're employing 200 employees or more, but they might have, developed technical as well as business skills. This is where we are able to assist them with interventions like quality management systems, as well as other programs that we have designed for SMMEs. How do we then provide these offerings? We have got these 4 levels called the talk, start, build, and grow. The talk level this is where we cover things like how to test your idea, as I've just mentioned earlier. How to test if your idea works, how to register a business, and what type of compliance will one need to have, and prepare at that level of the idea generation phase. And we also would assist those that are on the start level. Let's say a person is looking for a business plan, but they do not have the skills on how to do that. So our business planning, especially for startups, this is where we would then take you through our 5-day course. We've got a program that we are still running called the Startup One with Comic Book. This program involves things, on how to plan on a daily basis, on how to then build that planning into a weekly basis, and build that planning into a monthly basis, so that you're able to project for whatever number of years or your annual projections. So this is also one of the business skills that we offer at SEDA. We also offer mentorship programs for those that would be on the build level. We've got programs like the export orientation course, which is a business skills. I had the representative from SAFI talking about Proudly SA. This is where, let's say you want to take your product now internationally, but you don't know where to start. This is where we are able now to assist you to understand, and check if, firstly, are you ready to export your product? Does your product meet all standards that are required? And we then take you through the export orientation course, which will then assist you in giving you a capacity. We also have mentorship programs through training. One of the programs that I love, it's called Empretech, which is Nogwanda's baby. One of the best programs that we offer. It is a program under the UN program together with SEDA, and this year we're celebrating 10 years of being partners with them. One of the best programs, which I would really advise SAFI to request from Nogwanda, and maybe even requesting FPNM SETA to support them for that. It deals with how to behave correctly in a business. It's part of mentorship, and it will assist you on how to be vigilant of small and things, that maybe you are not aware of. And it's one of our best programs ever. We also have programs called the Small Enterprise, which is meant for those that are in operation. May I also reiterate the fact that I deal mostly with startup businesses. However, even if you are an operational business, you are more than welcome to maybe contact me, so that I can be able to do what we call a diagnosis, because before we can even assist any client, we do what we call proper diagnosis of your business, and be able to give you tailored solution for that journey that will be applied to you as an SMME. And this involves the business skills and the programs that we have designed for SMMEs on those levels. This is just a brief on what we normally would present to those that would like to start a business, and maybe even invite people, those that are around in Pretoria, to come for our sessions. We normally hold them on Tuesdays or Wednesdays from 9 to 12. This is where we go in depth about starting a business. But for now, I'll just take you through what that briefing session would cover. This is where we talk about, how important it is that one needs to have organizing capacity, how one needs to have an innovative spirit, how one needs to be taking risk, not just any risk, but calculated risk, and where one would have to, ask relevant questions like, are you entrepreneurial enough to build a business? And this is one session that we hold for those that have got ideas. Let's say, for instance, if one says, I'm interested, I want to to learn about business because I want to venture into furniture making, you're more than welcome to come to attend this session, where we are able to assist you to search for opportunities, where we assist you on how to take full responsibility of actually starting your business, where you graduate to a level where you're able to manage and grow your business. We also advise clients, especially those that are in the startup level, the importance of finding the right opportunity. That you have to find, is there a gap in the market? I mean, the presentation was very exciting. However, do you have the gap in the market for you to approach SAFI and say, SAFI, I think I'm interested in furniture designing. Is there a gap for that? And are you the right person to actually fill that gap? You also have to ask yourself questions like, is there, as I've just mentioned, is there market for your product or service? Will there be enough people who'd want your product or service? And knowing that, or remembering that those people who will buy your product or service at the price you charge, that is the market. And knowing that nothing is expensive, you're just not the target market. As well as the most important thing that we're talking about today, the skills needed to start a business. It is a known fact that small businesses need to have both technical skills that SAFI was talking about, as well as business skills. An entrepreneur needs to be able to manage their finances. They need to be able to market their business. They need to know how to buy wisely, to keep accurate records of the business, and mostly be able to sell. So with the business skills, this is where we come through, and we are so glad that SAFI is there in partnership with FP and SEDA, so that they're able to give the actual technical skills that the clients might need. As we mentioned earlier, SEDA, unfortunately, it's a non-financial institution. However, being an agency of the Department of Small Business Development, we've got a sister agency called SEFA, which is the one that is responsible for funding. The process of conducting a market research, especially for those that are starting a business, it is important to know that you need to find out and analyze what are the needs of your customer, because it won't make sense for you to go out there, spend money, spend time, and have all these skills only to find that you don't have the customers and you don't understand what your customer needs. And also analyzing the position of your competition. Sorry. We also give you steps on how to do that. To do the market research, you need to plan on how you're going to collect and analyze your research. And this is also a 3-hour type of session that we give, but it also gives you skill on going out there and doing a market research. And we also assist you on how to conduct a market research by utilizing these 2 platforms called the primary research as well as the secondary research. We are showing you the tools that are very important to do that, like interviews, which is a tool to uncover potential and current customer insight on determining if your idea has got potential, for instance, furniture making in this instance. Conducting surveys, which is a tool to assist you to gather internal and external parameters that impact a business. Also designing relevant questionnaires, obviously with an aim to get the new data or information. And this is it's a methodology to assist you to gather reliable and authentic responses with your idea. And also having focus groups where the tool assists you to gather samples of potential clients or customers and getting direct feedback from them. And the secondary research really speaks of already published information, where you can still identify competitors, you can still establish benchmarks, and identify the target segments or the market, where you're able to see who are the people that fall within your targeted demographic or who live a certain lifestyle. And we are in an era where it's no longer like our parents, the way they used to buy furniture. We find that we've got what we call a bedroom suite with a headboard, and certain things we don't even know what they were buying them for. These days, less is more, and you look at how furniture is being designed. And so you need to go out there and look for those people that would want to have a certain lifestyle in terms, because furniture, again, if somebody walks into your house, it actually speaks and tells of the type of character you are. And after you've done your research, you then have to outline your market analysis by finding out who and where is your target market, establishing demographic trends, finding out the relevant regulation. At least I had our previous speaker speaking of compliance, and she also spoke of the Furniture Bargaining Council, so that one is able to understand what are the regulations and laws for protection in terms of against imports, having qualifications and all of that. Sorry about that. Also being able to do what we call a competitors analysis, where you need to have knowledge on how to determine pricing strategies, the product range that you'll be designing and against your competition, market information gathering, what is the size, what is the share, and what are the trends. And also continuing with that, finding out how can you compete. And you can only compete if you've got compliance. You can only compete if you've got both technical skills, wherein we provide the business skills for you. And you can, never know how to charge if you don't have the actual business skills. You then have to come up with what we call a marketing plan. All of this is what we would provide through the programs we have at SEDA. Startup one with comic book, we've got the basic business skills, we've got Empretech, we have got tender to secure. This is now in terms of those that have got the capacity to actually supply maybe government institutions. If government institutions are looking for supply of furniture, SEDA assists you with that skill, where we teach you on how to fill in these RFQs and RFPs correctly. However, before we can even give you that training, we do what we call a tender readiness assessment. This is where we're going to check if you've got the capacity in terms of money, in terms of machinery, so that you can be able to supply, maybe even manufacture the furniture and be able to supply quality if you are going to be doing tendering. Maybe just continuing on the marketing mix and the table of that, understanding and knowing your product, packaging, the presentation of your product, how to price, having a pricing strategy and policies, being at the right location. Hence, we are saying location. It's very important, be it running any type of business, to have the correct location. For actually, let's say you are going to be manufacturing furniture. Is it where are you accessible? Are you visible enough? Those are things that are very important if one identifies a location. How to promote your business? Is it going to be mainstream media? Is it through social media? Is it through community radio? Having customer relations as well. It's very important, especially if you're starting a business or even in a business. So these are some of the things that I'm highlighting, wherein you can actually get from the programs that I've mentioned and the trainings that we offer at SEDA. May I also emphasize the fact that we also provide trainings for people with disability, especially those that are visually impaired. We've got manuals that are printed in Braille. And so even those that are visually impaired, yes, they can be able to access our programs, and we're able to train them. So we also advise clients to do what we call goal setting, which is, for instance, we've just presented on the SEDA programs and products and services in the training space, as well as other assistance that we provide, like designing marketing tools for you, things like quality management systems, assisting you with being ready for exporting, and other programs we have according to the levels. So obviously one would have to set goals and evaluate if they do have both technical skills and business skills. If it happens that you don't have business skills, you're more than welcome to actually visit firstly our website, which is www.seda.org.za, wherein you're able to check the branches that we have throughout the country. I think we've got 52, if not 56 branches throughout the country. And we also have core locations around the country, which would then deal with those that are from the township or the townships, so they're able to provide them with support. So one would have to evaluate which of the two do you lack. If it's technical skills, SAFI is there probably to assist you. If it's business skills, we are here to also assist you. Now, for those that are starting, once you've completed, if maybe this was too quick, I would like to invite those that are from the Pretoria area to visit us for the briefing session that I normally hold on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, because after that, we then require you to go and develop what we call a market research and a marketing plan, so that we are able to take you further and register you and invite you, assess you, register you, and invite you for these 5-day trainings that we normally hold, that you'll be able to learn about planning, we'll be able to learn how to manage your business, we'll be able to learn how to start your business, we'll be able to learn again how to behave correctly if you are a business person, so that you don't end up losing customers, you don't end up having the worst off. So visit our website so that you can check which area are you from, and if you're from Pretoria, you can actually come to our offices. And let's also remember that because of COVID-19, there is minimal movement. Therefore, we require you to please, I'm going to be giving out my email address. Email me if you're interested to come and attend our briefing session, so that I can be able to register you with our receptionist. For further assistance, this is for Gauteng. As I've mentioned, that we do have a website, that is the website, SEDA's website, which you can visit. There's information officers throughout the country that will be able to help you. This is strictly for Gauteng. In Gauteng, we've got the SEDA Tshwane branch. This is where I'm from, which is located at Fetcho Forum, 11th floor. That's Lillian Ngoyi Street in Pretoria's. Lillian Ngoyi is the former Van der Walt, and that's our telephone number, 012-400-8892, as well as 012-441-1000. We also have a branch in Johannesburg at the second floor, Bram Park in Braamfontein. That's their number, 011-408-6500. We also have one in Ekurhuleni for those that come from the East Rand. It's at the Business Place, Monument and Fort Record Road in Kempton Park. Their number is Joburg, 973-9640 or 9643. I'm Kate Masupa, the Information Officer for Tshwane Branch. For Joburg and Ekurhuleni, we've got Ms. Kumisa Majavu. That's her email address, cmajavu@seda.org.za, and the branch manager is Simon Shia. Our branch manager is Ms. Karen Kutsia, and those are the email addresses as well. Maybe just to give you, I did not necessarily, get any furniture manufacturers per se. However, this is one of our success stories. Her name is Portia Ngomezulu. She does the product called Portia M. The assistance is generic, whether you are in manufacturing of facial products or whether you're manufacturing of furniture or you are in services. What we normally would do as SEDA is we normally would check your challenge or your problem through what we call probing. This is where we are able to now determine what level are you at. Are you at the top, are you at the start, or are you at the build, or even at the grow level? So we are able to assist you and give you solutions for your problem in or challenges you're facing in business. When Portia came some 10 years ago, she had a lack of testing of the product, business plan, and marketing support. May I also confirm that we work with organizations like the SAPS. We've got the quality division, which will also assist those in the furniture making by providing, any form of quality support that the industry might look for. And when she came through, we had to give a solution by testing and giving a certification, implementing management systems, as well as facilitation to technology transfer fund. May I also emphasize the fact that the technology transfer fund is a grant that SEDA has. As much as I've said SEDA does not fund, but we do have the technology transfer fund, which is meant to provide businesses, especially in the manufacturing space, with machinery, the support to buy new machinery. However, this technology transfer fund, it's an expansion grant, but I should think the division would look at what we call case by case. Even if you're a startup, let's say you do have the market and you do have the skills and both technical and business skills, maybe you might be allowed to apply as a startup. And as I've just mentioned, that they would look at it case by case. And the results of Portia was that from us giving her the solutions, she managed to improve her turnover. She employed people, and she also applied for gazelles. The gazelles are also meant for those that are in the manufacturing space of furniture, because we are, as an organization, we really believe in manufacturing and we provide that support. Kaylee Ann is in services. She also had challenges with marketing and working capital. We had to introduce things like e-marketing support to her. And may I also emphasize that we do have a program for women called the Women Enterprise Coaching. It's also part of the skills development that we provide at SEDA. She also benefited from that program, and the results were that her turnover grew and she managed to employ 7 more people. Thank you. I'm still available for questions.
Thank you, Kate, for your presentation. It was very informative. But like you already shared all your details, everyone who needs any clarity, you can always go to the nearest branch throughout the country. And I must also emphasize that there are those other programs which are available through the national office. So if you go to the branch for any training needs or any skills development programs, they should be able to direct you to us at the national office. Other than that, we'll also share all our contact details, and then you are free to make those inquiries. Okay, without taking any more of your time, I'm going to invite Kwanele Mpanza to facilitate the question and answer session. Kwanele, she is the specialist responsible for accreditation at the national office. So she is my colleague.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon to everybody. I won't waste much time. We had a number of questions that were posed in the chat. So we'll start with the questions from the chats, then move on to verbal questions. So our questions were as follows. We had questions from Ubobo Dube, who was asking if we please share the webinar. We had a number of people that were requesting presentation and recording. This is going to be shared. Phil is going to email you guys links, so you will get a recording and you will get a copy of the presentations, both the presentation from SAFI and the presentation from SEDA. So I will then move on to the other questions that weren't related to presentations. So we had a question from Ulindiwe, which was just the furniture design qualification at NQF level 5 or 7. Ubenedette answered that in the chats. It's NQF level 7. And then now this is going to go to the panelists. If I could just pose 3 and then you answer those 3 and then we'll move on. So this is from Ulusindi. So Joseph, how do we go about establishing a strategic partnership with SAFI? It's from LJ Mzimase, and he also includes FedCoc Eastern Cape Business Council. So Bernadette, please just note that question. The next question is also from Lucindy. So how can SEDA assist in developing local manufacturing support in the furniture sector? So that's for SEDA. And then another question again from Lucindy. So how are your production equipment partners? How are your production equipment partners to lower the barriers of entries for SMMEs? So I think this one would be both SAFI and SEDA. So if you can address those three questions, colleagues. Bernadette, start with you.
Thank you. Just in terms of how to establish a strategic partnership with SAFI, we could ask that they make contact with us via email and just send us the proposal in terms of what that strategic partnership would look like. We have, apologies, we have strategic partnerships with various business councils across the country. So we look forward to the communication from the Eastern Cape Business Council.
Okay, thank you, Bernadette. So Kate, how can SEDA assist in developing local manufacturing support center in the furniture sector? To assist Kate?
SEDA has got a program under the STP called incubation. I still have to maybe also confirm with the DTIC, because I remember there was a form of support that they also provide. Currently, we do have an incubator called Fentech. It has got branches throughout, I think it's 7 branches. There's one in White River, one in Nyanga, and Kwamashu. So if one would want to have probably a center like that, you could maybe think of the incubation program. If you do have a model that is working currently as a developer or as a manufacturer of furniture, it's something that you can probably sell to SEDA, and maybe just contact the SEDA technology program. You can find the contact details on our website specifically for STP on assisting you to develop a center like that for furniture making. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. If either one of you, Bernadette or Kate, could just answer the third question. Production equipment partners to lower barriers of entries for SMMEs.
Thanks, Cornelia. I think like Kate mentioned, as I presented in my slides, you'll see most of the training that was funded by the SETA is offered by Ferntech as a service provider. So we have a long-standing partnership with Ferntech. What usually happens is that when an entrepreneur or even an employee that goes into establishing his own furniture business, when they approach us, we would refer them to Ferntech, and Ferntech would then offer these facilities, whether it be production equipment facilities, as well as assisting them with things like raw materials and even with business support in terms of their business. So the idea of the incubation is that you go into a 2-year incubation program, which assists you with, or it's actually when you start the incubation program, you work towards your exiting the program into sort of standing on your own 2 feet as a business. So this incubation program has a variety of benefits when you join the incubation program. And like Kate said, these details are available, and there are incubation centers in majority of the provinces in the country.
Thank you, Bernadette. So we then move on to our questions. We had a question from Ernest Lehogo, which related to SABS. He basically says, it seems to take forever to have your product SABS approved via SEDA. How long does it take? I thought it only takes 2 months. the guys here in Bloemfontein are quite slow. So Kate, if you could take that one for SABS. And then Grace, basically this was for Phil, who was inquiring about attending a quality management systems training and had not received her certificate. Phil, I know you answered in the chats, but if you could just reiterate the issue of certificates. And then the third question is from Usipiwo, who just wanted the SAFI Seda to basically provide their contact details after the session. He's a project manager for eThekwini Cluster SMME Development Program, and he's obviously looking to partner in terms of skills development offerings. So colleagues, Spiwa, the contact details will be shared. Kate had already projected hers, and Benedette had already projected hers, but we will share again. So colleagues, can we just answer these two questions then, Phil and Kate?
Okay, sure. I'm in Gauteng, however. Mr. Ernest Lehoke, I won't say there is a certain time frame per se. My advice would be maybe go back to whoever that was assisting you with the application for the SABS approval, because how it works is SABS, it's a service provider. Okay, it is an extension to SEDA to provide SMMEs with the much needed quality assessments. And therefore, what normally would happen is we've got a division again at SEDA under the STP called the quality division, wherein your business advisor or even your information officer like myself would, after conducting an assessment and probing if there's a need for you to get such assistance, would then communicate with STP, obviously with you as a client involved, and the certain forms that you then apply to get the support in the form of grant, which then will be approved by SEDA. If SABS was the one as a service provider that was appointed to assist you with testing of your product, they will then be given a PO as well as you a purchase order, as well as you to provide you with the assistance that you need of giving you the testing of your product. So my advice would be, please go back to whoever, or maybe send them an email. Also mention that you were part of this panel, copy maybe Kwanele, copy Nogwanda and myself as well. And maybe we might try to, but we can't push them. We might try to speak to them on your behalf. Thank you.
Phil, can I invite you to address the certificates issue?
All right. Thank you, Kwanele. Grace, yes, I can hear your concern. But this is what happened because of this new normal, this COVID-19. What happened is that the method that we used for training was virtual, and then we attracted a long list of people because we were able to cover all the participants throughout the country. So it created a logistical nightmare for us, because ordinarily after every training, we just sent that maybe 20 or 15 certificates to a particular branch. But now we thought it's going to be a challenge for us. So we wanted to create a PDF certificate which we can be able to send them via email. So our IT department is on board, but it is taking longer than we anticipated. So we have just since went back to our old ways. So we are busy printing the certificates, and then we'll send them to your nearest branches. So you should expect them very soon. Thank you, Kwanele.
Thank you, Phil. Okay, we've got a question from Lucindy. So how can one be assisted as a new business A case in point, funders need a secured market and the market want a product sample. And then it goes on, a chicken and egg scenario. So please note that question. So I think that question would be for Seda, but SAFI can also note it as well. And then we also had a question from Ubobo, who was keen to find out about the product designed and created by Nogwanda. I think, Kate, you were speaking about Empretech there, but you will elaborate, that's the question. And then the third question is, I have a business plan, but I need help with financial statements, projection, break-even analysis, would really appreciate the help. Kate, would you mind taking those three questions?
Take me to the previous slide, that other question again.
Okay, how can I be assisted as a new business? Case in point, funders need a secured market and want a product sample.
Yeah, Lucindy, so where are you from? That's the first question. Because if you are from Pretoria, I would really love for you to come and attend the briefing sessions that I normally hold either on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I've given out my email address. You can email me, we can set up an appointment so that I can engage with you and so that we can start with the process of being able to assist you and you attend the relevant sessions that will build you up so that you've got a skill of coming up with a market plan as well as a thorough market research. So I'm extending an invitation to you, Lucindy. So, and then the second one, you can move to it, Cornelia. Is it initially the Empretech program, we were providing or we're giving to operational businesses that would be on the build and grow level. However, again, for those that are starting up, it's a case-by-case thing where if a client comes in and I feel that they might need that capacity, we normally would provide them. And this was not necessarily designed by Nogwanda. Nogwanda is managing it. It is a program between SEDA and the UN that is designed to assist SMMEs with being able, being aware of how they behave in business. So as well as if it's Bobo, you're more than welcome to send me an email. I'll also would love for you to come through so that we can be able to engage and have a one-on-one. And maybe if, it happens, we might even invite you to attend that Empretech. And Rangwat, was it Mpahlele? Yes, I'm also inviting you. Send me an email. Yes, drop me an email because you're from Pretoria North. That's fine. Drop me an email so that I can also, have an appointment with you, have a one-on-one in probing, and be able to send you to the relevant platform. If you have to attend a briefing session, so be it. If it means if we have to invite you to attend training, these 5-day trainings we're talking about, this is where all these issues you have, like projection, break-even analysis, and all of that will be discussed. Because our belief is, as much as you might have a business plan, our people, most of them would have, these business plans cut and paste, if I may call it. So we believe in training you so that you understand what is projection, what is, the financial management as a whole. So I'd love to invite you. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Kate. Okay, our three next questions, we've got a question from Ujabu, and then this goes back again to SAFI. What can one do to offer their services as a business coach to the SAFI program? And then we've got another question from Ernest. It says, I'm presently transitioning towards becoming fully digital. Do you have a booklet on how to conduct webinars in partnership with government? And then it says, access to market is also posing a problem. Do you offer free access to market because it's a struggle? So if we could give that to Seda. And then we've got another question from Sharon is, what to do if I want to be part of the furniture manufacturing but don't have the skills? So if we could take that one back to SAFI or Seda.
Thank you, Bernadette. Yes, so thank you, Cornelia. In terms of the first question, any service provider that would like to, so let me just go back first. Like in my presentation, I mentioned the training programs that we've rolled out in the furniture industry. So what usually happens is, and I also showed the attendees the skills that were identified as critical skills, and one of them was a program like this. So what would happen is SAFI would then apply for funding to the FPNM SETA or various other organizations. And for this purpose and this example, if we had to apply to the SETA for business coach funding, we would have to wait to see if the SETA would approve it. And once the funding is approved, we would then, as the organization, put out a request for quote, a RFQ, or a tender for businesses like yourself to actually apply to be part of the program. So watch our website. I can't, guarantee that we're going to get funding for training like that, but it will be put on our website and made available to the service providers should it happen. Thanks, Cornelia.
Thank you, Bernadette. Kate?
Maybe just to add on, because I see the client also wanted to know if is the booklet on how to conduct webinars. I don't know whether Kwanele, I remember that you once conducted a webinar on how to conduct webinars. I don't know if that is still available or accessible. We'll answer that afterwards. Access to markets. I wouldn't necessarily say it is free. I don't know how to put it. What we normally would do is to firstly do what we call an assessment with the client through the probing I've been talking about. And the results of the report that we then get from the engagement will let us know on how to assist you to access either local markets or international markets. So what we would normally do is we would have to ensure that we prepare you, have all compliances, have all capacity so that you are able to access markets, because it doesn't help to access markets while you're not ready. So we also check what we call readiness before we can say there is an opportunity at such and such a place where you are able to access either local markets or international markets. And then to Sharon, we provide business skills at SEDA, so you're more than welcome to also maybe drop me an email. If you're from the Pretoria area, I would really love to have a one-on-one with you, where we can be able to discuss and be able to send you to a relevant platform where you'll be able to receive business skills. And then the other manufacturing skills, as I've mentioned, that we've got a FinTech. They are available. I think there's one in Joburg. If you can go to their website, I'm not sure about the address. Am I still visible? Oh, I'm not sure about the address. However, if you come to me, I'll be able to discuss with you, as well as conduct probing and send you to the relevant platform, especially of providing you with business skills. I think those are the questions, ne, Kwanele?
Yes, thank you, Kate. With regards to, the other one, Ele did a workshop on how to use Zoom. There currently isn't a booklet, and it was basically for in-house participants, which was your SEDA staff. So currently there isn't that sort of training, but once it becomes available, we'll share that information. So there isn't really a booklet on how to conduct webinars at the moment, Kate. And then the next question is, the SEDA training only offered in person, or are they available in virtual too? And then Grace just wanted us, the panelists, to please type the email addresses in the chat box, the ones that were shared during the presentation. So Kate, you will answer the one if the training is offered only virtually or in person. And then those were the end of the questions that we got from our chats. So Kate?
Yeah. Currently, because we're on level 1, we prefer to provide our trainings on face-to-face. I think since we came back, I've already conducted 3 startup trainings. So the process would be, if you are interested, as I've mentioned, please engage with me via email and set up an appointment and see that we can invite you, because we still believe that, you know, having people attending in person is better than virtual. That's my take. Yes, then corrected. So we have both virtual but we currently trying to push the face-to-face ones because they've got a better impact. So if you are interested, you can actually email me. Thank you, Kwanele.
Okay, Phil, if you could please just assist me, I would like to take oral questions. I know that there were a few questions that were put on the chats during the Q&A, so I will just have a look at those. But is there anybody that would like to just present their questions orally? If you could just raise your hand, and we take 3 participants, and then we'll just have a look finally at our chats. So, okay. Phil, can we take Oliphant? Reginald, and can we take Bontle? In that order, please. Oliphant?
Okay, good day, everyone. Just with some few clarities. First thing would be towards you, Maggie. I just need to know, is it possible that one can be assisted as a startup in business and at the same time be a service provider within SEDA? Maybe I want to attach myself to SEDA to provide certain service, which is a necessity because I've seen some few gaps that are happening, especially with small entrepreneurs, and would like to assist them in that regard. Secondly, will be in terms of SAB approval. I have I've designed a tool that would be used for trucks. I already have clients. Think about I need to produce about 200 of those, and I need to know how I get that SAB approved and how do I get assisted in terms of getting equipment that are relevant towards them. The third question would be towards education part in terms of skill development. I'm currently studying SDF, assessor and facilitator. I want to have that my trainings be accredited so that I can train and accredit small entrepreneurs and also others who are interested in developing themselves in terms of the future. So is there any assistance with regard to in terms of accreditation, how one gets to that point where they are accredited in order to be able to fulfill those needs? And most importantly, the reason for doing this would be to close that gap for outreach programs, because you find that there is SEDA in this certain region, but it doesn't reach other people within that area. So I want to make an outreach program. Most of the people even say in Kuruma, they don't even know about SAFI. So I want to make outreach programs regarding those things. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Oliphant, your line was very bad, but I hope the panelists got the question. The first question, I was really unable to hear it. I battled, but Mr. Oliphant wanted assistance on SABS approval. He designed equipment that needed to be SABS approved, and then it was also wondering if there's any assistance with training accreditation. So let's take Reginald.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And if the panelists could just please note the questions. Reginald, yes.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm just wondering if does SEDA perhaps do some sort of inverted commas, the site visits, where, for example, if maybe one can spot a potential business that could be assisted maybe in my community. And obviously, I'm saying this because I've already identified one potential, say, business that has got the potential, you know, to expand and grow. But my challenge is maybe the resources to get from the business or the township to maybe the branch. So if you can understand the plight of traveling and leaving your business unattended to attend a course, So I'm just asking and wondering if do you guys do site visits, if one can put it like that, and also the presentations, do you also do them virtually? If, for example, one can organize maybe say a group of 5, 10 or 15, entrepreneurs around my township. Thanks.
Mr. Oliphant, you're in Kuruman. From what I picked up, your line was very bad. So I'm going to respond to what I picked up as well as what Gwanele also requested for us to respond to. As a training service provider, especially training on entrepreneurship, there is a process that stands with SEDA. Since you are from Kuruman, we'll just have to go to the website and check, how many branches within the Northern Cape. You then have to visit a SEDA branch. You'll be given service provider forms wherein you would have to apply all required information. And there is also a vetting process whereby you will be invited to come and present. And only after that, you'll be given a response whether where you, did you qualify to become a training service provider for SEDA. And when it comes to the accreditation of the programs that you have actually designed, there are SETAs, as Bernadette had presented, that FPNM SETA is providing her with support. These SETAs are meant to also do accreditation, especially for skills development programs. As we sit as an organization, we are also accredited. The Learning Academy is also accredited by the Services SETA. So you'll have to find out which relevant SETA is it that can actually assist you. And you're more than welcome again to visit the branch near you, in this case, Kuruman, speak to a business advisor who will be able to also take you through the process and assist you, and be able to also share with you what type of assistance can you get out of SEDA in order for that process to be conducted and for you to receive that assistance. And in terms of the SABS testing, that process I spoke about still stands. Just drop me an email. I'll be able to send you Mr. Elia Nechisaula's email address. He'll be able to take you through the actual process. We are currently working with specified agencies that help us with approvals. You might find that it cannot necessarily be SABS. Maybe there is another university, maybe the University of Limpopo. So he'll be in a position to assist you with that. Those are the ones that I actually managed to hear from you, Mr. Oliphant. I don't know if there's any more that you need clarity on. Moving to Reginald, I also need to be, I'm not clear when you said site visit. Are you trying to buy into an existing business when you spoke of site visit? Because if you are, yes, we can be able to assist you. Normally how we assist clients before they buy into an existing business, we do what we call a due diligence. A due diligence will actually assist you before putting any money down by giving you a report in terms of performance of that business, by giving you, it's sort of like investigation or investigating that business prior you investing or even looking for funding to be able to fund to buy into that business. So I wasn't clear in terms of that site visit. Were you actually, referring to buying into an existing business? And then when it comes to presentations, currently we do both. We do virtual and face-to-face. So if it's face-to-face, maybe have the number to be a bit higher, where either you can be invited to come to SEDA, or we even come to you to give you a presentation. Let's say it's 20 people, because we also have to be careful of the regulation and law in terms of the number of people that are allowed for a face-to-face presentation. So yes, we do, because as an organization, we do what we call outreach. So that would be regarded as outreach, wherein we do go to any location or towns and provide you with presentations on the SEDA products and services. Those are the two that I got from you. Thank you, Phil.
I think there was some questions which were missed or they were not answered. There was one from Jabu saying, so far, how many startup businesses are there in your data? I think it meant a database as SEDA. And there was another one from Reginald who said, my question is, do you perhaps embark in road shows in order to discover potential viable businesses in the far-flung or obscure areas? Kate, can you maybe take us through those two questions? Then Kwanele will proceed. And colleagues, participants, just bear with us for some few more minutes. I know we are running over our schedule. Please bear with us. We'll be done shortly. Kate.
Thank you. Database of SMMEs. How the SEDA program works is each province keeps definitely a database of SMMEs, and we pride ourselves through sharing even successful stories through our annual report. Our annual report normally would, showcase how many businesses have we assisted in a year. We also have where we celebrate successful businesses annually, called the Annual Stakeholder Forum, where this is where we are able to share in terms of the number of SMMEs that we've assisted. So yes, we do keep a database of SMMEs, from those that are from the idea generation phase to those that are successful in employing a certain number, because our existence really is to assist you as an SMME so that you're able to create quality jobs. That's all that we need from you. So yes, we do keep a database of SMMEs, which the information can be actually found on our annual report. And in terms of roadshows, this is a matter of jargon. Someone would say roadshow, we call it outreach. Yes, we do conduct outreach. We've got various programs. We've got another program called it's an annual event that we normally host, called the Entrepreneurship Day, which is done throughout the country. This is where it might be, regarded as the biggest show or road show that we normally have. There's a build up to it. Normally, before that entrepreneurship, we would go out and do, on social media, invite clients, would do radio ads, would do radio briefs on that. So yes, we do. You might call it roadshow, we call it outreach, we call it various shows. And yes, we do, where we are able to also invite startups or those that are already in operation. And normally when we have those, you might find that we've got our own what do they call it? A desk which is responsible to respond to questions and answers. And on those platforms, yes, we are able to identify potential clients that we will then take up and assist. I think I managed to respond to your question. Thank you, Phil.
There was just two questions that were left, which was from Jabu and Reginald, and you addressed those two questions, which were from the chats. So colleagues, if you've got more questions for our panelists, you are welcome to email them. We're going to close the question and answer session now. So you're welcome to email Phil or send your email directly to the panelists. They did share their email addresses, and you will be getting a copy of the presentation, the recordings. Phil will definitely be sharing those after the webinar. Phil, thank you so much. I think we're already over time with regards to the question and answer and the webinar. So I hand over back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kwanele, for taking us through the Q&A session. For now, I would like to thank all the panelists for availing yourself to share all this important information to all our SMMEs. And I hope that this information is going to benefit them going forward. And I also would like to thank even all the attendees for availing themselves to listen to all the panelists while they share. So want to wish them luck in their businesses, and that they must keep safe, under these lockdowns, because COVID is not yet gone. So continue to practice social distancing, sanitizing, and then keep safe. Thanks everyone. Thanks all everyone who has participated, and then we'll see you in our next webinar, hopefully. Thank you. Bye-bye.